My name is Thomas Hall. I went ahead and used the Southwest AI app, and I put in a difficult loan scenario with some tax returns and everything. And I had somebody else already underwrite it. When it came back, they was almost identical within like a few dollars. And it took about 30 minutes instead of a whole day or two for somebody to analyze that. So, yeah, that AI is going to be the best thing in the whole industry. So stay tuned.
Welcome to The Interest. I'm Sarah Wolak. Finally, some good news. Annual inflation dropped to 3% in June. Last June, it was over 9%. What a difference a year makes. And as inflation is finally starting to adjust, the housing market seems to want to follow suit. Mortgage Educators and Compliance's own David Luna has more.
Hello, this is David Luna with Mortgage Educators and Compliance. I want to take just a minute and share with you some important thoughts. Let's begin with inventory. Sales of new single-family houses were at an annual rate of 763,000, according to estimates recently released jointly by the Census Bureau and HUD. It was the third straight month-over-month increase. The National Association of Realtors reported that existing home sales rose 0.2% last month, following two straight monthly declines. Redfin's housing market tracker, the brokerage said just 1.4 million homes were up for sale, lower than any month on its records, which date back to 2012. A bottom is forming for single-family home building as builder sentiment continues to gradually rise from the beginning of the year, said Robert Deitz, the National Association of Home Builders chief economist. The Federal Reserve nearing the end of its tightening cycle is also good news for future market conditions in terms of mortgage rates and the cost of financing for builder and developer loans. There are now 1.69 million single-family and multifamily housing units under construction in the United States, approaching the highest levels recorded in the last 50 years. Single-family housing starts recently came in at a rate of 997,000, which is still short of what we need by 700,000, meaning home prices will continue to appreciate. New homes, which have historically made up approximately 11% of total inventory, now make up roughly 30%. The National Association of Home Builders chair, Elisa Huey, said, quote, "Despite elevated interest rates that make the cost of housing more expensive, the lack of existing home inventory in most markets is leading to increased demand for new construction," close quote. This is David Luna for Mortgage Educators and Compliance. Thank you for tuning in.
In other news, Rocket is taking a stab at making sure profitability goals are met for lenders. The company's newest program, called Target Profit Control, is an addendum to their Correspondent Assist program that they launched in October. According to a Rocket release, Target Profit Control acts as a loan-level price adjustment. The new addition will supposedly eliminate common issues for lenders, such as misquoting, loan adjustment oversights, and time loss. Coming up, an industry talking head with a rags-to-riches background tells us how he did it.
Don't miss the largest mortgage show in the nation. The Originator Connect returns to Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas August 17th to the 20th. See us at originatorconnect.com. Find the best connections in the industry, dozens of sessions, scores of exhibitors. It's where success is written every hour. originatorconnect.com.
So there are people who say that I'm as cutthroat as you can get. And so I'll let the industry answer that.
If you've seen his posts on social media or his name written across headlines, then surely you know NEXA CEO Mike Kortas never shies away from a fight. But who is the man behind this tough exterior? What's his story? That's exactly what NMP set out to find with an exclusive interview with the heavyweight broker champion himself.
I definitely feel like that stage of my life between 14 and 18 has a lot to do with who I am today.
Kortas comes from very humble beginnings. He grew up as a quiet, modest kid in a rough family environment. Fighting didn't come naturally to him, but life circumstances forced him to learn.
I was out of the house at 16 years old, outfitting for myself. But I learned to fight back, and I wasn't going to deal with certain things anymore.
Those years he spent out on the streets hardened the young Kortas and taught him some valuable lessons, like how to stand up for himself. It also taught him who to trust and who not to trust.
I learned to hate people who say one thing and do another, because on the streets you kind of have to rely on, I guess, instincts and judge people.
As a kid, Kortas wasn't safe in those all-male homeless shelters. Instead, he found a barn to sleep in for about a year, sharing a pen with a baby calf. That didn't stop him from finding work, though. He had 2 full-time jobs, landscaper by day and gas station attendant by night.
And I actually attest my work ethic today to the landscaping job, just because you're talking about like legitimately digging ditches and shoveling rock.
Kortas made his first step into the professional world at the age of 19 by becoming a debt collector. Being a smart kid, he scored well on the agency's entry test and began managing American Express accounts. He considered this to be his college education in sales.
You're trying to get somebody to give you money for something that they no longer have. That's the hardest sales job in the world.
Eventually, he realized there was huge earning potential in the mortgage industry. Even better, he didn't need a college education to scale up his career.
And I was in an industry where I can use my work ethic and my brain to make what I'm worth.
After overcoming many challenges and sleepless nights, Kortas was eventually able to scale up his career and fulfill his dream of starting his own company. But even though he's made it to the upper echelon of the industry, he never forgets about his hardworking loan officers.
I think of myself as a loan officer, as an advocate for loan officers. But you have to understand, without these loan officers, you have nothing, I have nothing, we are nothing.
In all, Kortas is a complex man, an overachiever, and undoubtedly a fighter. To read more of Kortas' story, read July's issue of NMP Magazine, available at nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Katie Jensen.
Thanks, Katie. For more on these and all of today's top stories, visit nationalmortgageprofessional.com.